and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another Sims 4 speed build for you, and I have exciting news. We are finally finishing this townhome build. So this is the third and final townhome as part of this whole lot, and so the full townhome, fully decorated, is now up on the Sims 4 gallery under my ID, Spice and Sprinkles, all one word, all lowercase, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. And I also have the shell up on the gallery as well, so like the exterior is decorated, but none of the interiors are, so if you want to try to decorate it yourself, you are more than welcome to, but now this full version is up on the gallery. And of course, if you like one of them, but maybe not the others, you can, of course, like just delete, whatever you want or change it like to fit your needs and your gameplay. And I also have another bit of information to give you. So it has been requested that I create like a hashtag on the gallery for you all to like upload Sims families, things like that, like for some ideas as to like what I should build next. So the hashtag is going to be build me spice and sprinkles, and I will pop it up on the screen so you can actually see it, and it'll be down in the description as well. So basically, if you have a family that you want a build for, you can upload it with that hashtag. And just to be clear, like I will not necessarily build all of the ones that are uploaded, but if I'm in the mood to try to create a home for a family, that is the hashtag I will go to try to find a family to build for. So there's no guarantee that I am going to actually do it or in what time frame I'll do it. So I just want to go ahead and put that disclaimer out there so you're not expecting that. However, I think it'd be really fun to get some ideas from what you all might want for your gameplay. And of course, in the description of your family, if there's stuff you want me to know, if they have favorite colors or different things that you want me to try to include in the build that like fits them, be sure to let me know. Otherwise, I won't have as much to go off of. Or like also, if they have particular jobs, like that kind of thing, if there's certain skill building items that I should include, be sure to let me know. And I think that's all for the like more housekeepy kind of information at the beginning of this particular build. But I basically wanted to go with this like boho kind of feel for this home, and I ended up finding that rug. Of course, like shocker, I found a rug that I wanted to use, and I kind of wanted to pull on those colors, but to have like a bunch of patterns and it's just to be like this really cool place. I figured that the people that lived here, the Sims that lived here, were like two roommates. So this townhome is a little bit different than the other ones. So the pink one is basically for like one Sim. You can fit two in it, but it's basically like the idea being maybe is a college student that has a bunch of money. And then the one in the middle is for a family, so we have like a parent's bedroom and a nursery, like they're getting ready for a kid. And this one is going to be for like two roommates. Now specifically, one of the rooms has like the double bed in it, so you could fit two Sims in it, so technically three could live here. And you can see here I also included the Murphy bed in the living room. I honestly almost never use it. However, I don't know what it was about that like built-in cabinet that I felt like really worked here. So I did include it, and then I thought, maybe it's roommates and they like having company, and so it's a place for their company to stay, right? Like if they have someone stay the night. And of course now with the new mechanic with get together, you can't have people just randomly want to stay at your home, so that is a place that they could do it. Of course, if you'd like to actually pull out the Murphy bed, you'd have to move like the coffee table, which I figured is kind of realistic. If that's just like for guests, like you would still have a coffee table and you would just kind of move it out of the way if you wanted to actually use the bed. So I figured you can do that if you want to, and of course you don't have to use it for gameplay if you don't feel like it, but I just kind of liked the way it looked. And I used these lovely baskets here on the wall in the kitchen and just kind of put a little bit of decor on it, and I really love the way this came out. I feel like it's super bright but cozy all at the same time, and I think it just like worked really well in this space. I will say that like it did take me a really long time to figure out the floor plan of the next two floors, and that was cut out. So actually at the beginning of the build, I was like, I should go ahead and figure that out. And I took that out because you don't have to watch me do that, but just know that it took a really long time. And I say that in case like floor plans take you a while, like this doesn't happen like super quickly. Like sometimes it does, but other times like I'm completely stumped and I didn't know how to lay it out, especially since I wanted it to be roommates. Like I wanted there to be like two bathrooms and two bedrooms, and I wanted there to be a bathroom and a bedroom like together, and them to have like their own floor, if that makes sense. So they really have their own individual space, which I feel like would be a lot of fun, other than the fact that the Sim that lives on the top floor would have to like go through the second floor where the other Sim lives in order to get to their space. But I I don't know, I still felt like it was really nice, and they have their own space to like really have their own bathroom. And the second floor, that sim has a smaller bedroom but a larger bathroom. And then the top floor, that sim has the larger bedroom, smaller bathroom, but also has like the balcony. But that balcony can still be accessed like easily without having to go into that sim's bedroom, if that makes sense. So still a nice open space for the other sim to be able to enjoy that balcony, but they kind of have the perk of it being just like right outside their bedroom door, that they can just head out to that balcony. And it was, like I said, it was a bit difficult trying to figure this out and figuring out like what doors I wanted, because it's a little bit of a tight squeeze upstairs. And I was like, you know what, I should just like kind of do the floor plan I had in the other builds, but like it just didn't quite work the same way. So I definitely had to, you know, move things around a little bit. I will say that I think I like moved like one or two of the windows like just a little bit, and I really tried so hard to keep it completely symmetric in that like the windows on the left side of the build are the same on the right, but they're just going to be a little bit different. So I'm hoping you don't mind, but I really tried, but it just, you know, in order to make this floor plan work, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. So you can see here on this second floor, I included each sim does have their own office space, but I included an easel here because I thought maybe this sim might be into creating art, so I included that in here. And like I said, you can see the space over there, that like long room, that's going to end up being their bathroom, which I said it's pretty big. It's pretty spacious. Now, of course, since they have that giant window in there, which I feel like would be like kind of fun to have, although like in a bathroom, like kind of weird, but you know what, this property backs up to basically like a giant lake or ocean or some body of water, so like probably nobody's gonna be looking in the window, so it'll be totally fine. And it's kind of funny, the toilet's actually facing out, so like if you're using the bathroom you can actually see out like over the water, which I thought was kind of funny. And in this space we do end up using a single bed, and I kind of make this like interesting like walk-in closet kind of situation. Like your sim can get in this room, I will say that, like that I'm about to create, although you know they don't have to. There's also a mirror in here, so you can just use a mirror in order to actually change their clothing, so you don't have to do that. But it's just, it looks so cool. I really liked having like those doors and being able to kind of like see into their closet. But like I said, you don't actually have to use it. If you want to take that out and repurpose it, then of course you can do so if you'd like to. And I did struggle a little bit with this room, especially since I was kind of limited to having like a single bed in here, like how, like what the decor was going to look like. And I am really happy with the way it turned out. Of course, it dawned on me that I have a full walk-in closet. I don't need a dresser in here. So I actually end up putting the book nook, like the smaller of the couches over there, and making it like this really cozy area for this sim to hang out, because again, I really like their roommates. Like I wanted them to have designated spaces for themselves, because I felt like, you know, that would be ideal, you know, like if you're living with roommates, to be able to have that space and like being able to just go and like hang out on your own couch and like, you know, being away, especially if the other roommate has friends over, like that kind of thing. And of course I'm talking about this as if it actually is a real home that people are really actually like, you know, living in. But and also, if you want to play with the like this set of townhomes, you can either like have your particular sim like live in one of them and then just have like roommates for the other ones, or you can control all of the sims like in your household and just say that, like, you know, lock the doors and things like that so they can't go into each other's townhomes. So if you want to actually have control or have like be able to use that storyline, I feel like you could do a lot of things and have like different drama and all kinds of stuff going on if you wanted to. Like I feel like that would be a lot of fun, and I feel like I come up with all of these gameplay ideas, but like they're not things I actually do, but I just like to think of them. And in here I kind of used a very similar tile to the one in the kitchen, although I use the less vibrant swatch, it feels like. I almost used this actually in the kitchen, but I didn't feel like it popped enough, so but we're using it up here. And I try to make this whole build cohesive, but still try to give the two roommates kind of their own personality, if that makes sense. Like they have overlapping interests in like interior design, but they are still like two separate people. Like I use a lot more like burgundy upstairs, which I think ended up being actually really pretty, and I took the inspiration from the get together bed I end up using up there. And I was actually really excited because I was sad when I was doing the bedroom here because I really wanted to use that bed from get together, but it fit up here, so luckily I was still able to use it. even though it was just in the other room. But you can see there's like that really like nice purpley, like in burgundy in the like cushion there on the headboard, and kind of pulling like that color in a little bit. And we end up using actually that really pretty color from the Paranormal pack, that really nice like purpley burgundy kind of maroon color on the wall there. And I feel like it just gives it a really nice pop, and it just ends up being just like really rich in here. And I do end up making like a cozy little like book nook. I mean, I shouldn't say book nook because that is actually a kit, but you know what I mean? A nice sitting area in the corner for this sim. Again, a space for them to actually hang out in on their own without like having to deal with their roommate if they don't feel like it. So like I said, their bedroom's bigger, but their bathroom is definitely smaller. They only have a shower. They don't have a shower tub combo. Part of that is because of the big window I have in the middle of it. But I think actually though in the middle one, no, I think actually, I'm trying to remember, the middle townhome does have a bathroom about in that same space, but I think there's not a window. Okay, I was about to say, because I included a shower tub combo, but duh, because there's not a window, like we could do that. But since there's a window, it made things a little more complicated, and I didn't want to get rid of it, so we just end up using the like shower over in the corner and then having the toilet in the middle and then the sink on the end. And I think that worked out really nicely. And then I ended up combining these two mirrors to make a larger one because I really like the look of it, but it just felt very small, especially in comparison to that sink area. So I wanted just to make that a little bit bigger, so I just kind of put them right next to each other. And then of course using the Desert Luxe like window like treatments because I just thought they looked really nice in here, and then adding a little bit of wall decor. And out there in that kind of landing area for the stairs is where I actually end up putting this Sims like office area, and I just think it's a really nice space. I almost put the Dream Home Decorator bulletin board on the wall, but I ended up just putting some like degrees on the wall instead, so you can like swap that out too if you want this Sim to maybe be an interior designer, because I feel like that could be fun as well in terms of gameplay. And of course I end up adding another plant in here as well because, you know, I just couldn't help myself. I figured there would be a lot of plants in this home, and I figured they would just enjoy taking care of those. And like I said, your Sims can both get to this balcony. Like this isn't part of, like, it's technically kind of the Sims office space, but it's not like inside their personal like bedroom, if that makes sense. So I end up putting 2 chairs on that balcony so that they can actually go and sit out there together. And I do know that one of the panels here actually got miscolored when I was trying to do the inside. I did try to double check to make sure that I actually like covered all of those, so like fixing those spaces, so there shouldn't be any issues when you download it. But if there is a random like wall piece that is miscolored, I do apologize. I tried my best, but it just keeps doing that. Like it randomly will paint the outside when I'm like, why would you do that? And I figured since this is roommates, like if they like to have guests and things like that, that this would just be a really nice sitting area for them. So I just kind of include the couch out there. And yes, I know that it's supposed to be like an indoor couch, but I liked it, so I used it out here. And I believe I actually swap it to the yellow swatch because I was still in the mode of doing that Sim upstairs that had that more like pinky burgundy maroon color, but I do swap it to yellow to match a little bit better with that first floor and like to give them that like in common space. And I also know that that rug would not be super practical outside, but you know what, we're doing it anyways. It's the Sims, I can, so I did. And then using that really nice like fire pit table, which I thought was super cute and nice for entertaining. And I do end up just putting some stones to kind of leave you outdoors. And I also include one of those like big stone things from the Jungle Adventures pack because I don't know, I wanted something on that fence, but I didn't want a ton of stuff, so just like a little bit. So we do end up actually adding that there on the wall and just a little more vegetation around and a little like a few rocks I think as well. But your Sim can get around everywhere. This has been play tested, so you shouldn't have any kind of issues while trying to use this build. And of course, as a reminder, be sure to use bb.move objects when you're placing this, because this is something that I use when I am actually building. And just finishing up some decorations out here on the front porch. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye everybody.